What's going on, guys? Big Kev here, and I thought I'd make a video kind of going over what you should do as a beginner. If you're a beginner and you're new to Unison League, welcome. Welcome to the best game you're ever going to play on mobile, anyway. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately. A lot of people have been messaging me, especially a lot of newer players that watch my videos, and they ask me, what should I spend my gems on? Obviously, you guys know I'm a whale already. That's no secret. But there was a time when I wasn't a whale, and I said, you know what? I'm going to be free to play. I'm not going to spend any money, because I see a lot of people in the game that don't spend money, and they're pretty good, so I think I'll be able to, be good as well. Obviously, I got sucked in, and the rest is history. But like I said, I've been getting a lot of messages in my inbox asking, what should I do? What should I spend my gems on? Should I refill my AP and quest to level up fast? Should I do the rare spawns? Should I wait for exchanges? What should I do? So I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I did anyway, and what everybody should do. Now, when you first start, you're going to start at the very beginning of campaign. Okay? When you first start the game, you are going to obviously have all these quests. And when you complete a quest, you get a gem. Okay, you get one gem. When you kill all the bounty monsters off, you're going to get that gem. And also, when you complete a single tier of quests, so for number 1, there's 4 quests here, you're also going to get an extra gem from the achievement part. So in total, just for this one tier here, you get a total of 5 gems. Now, when you first start out in Unison League, you're going to have a one-time spawn where you're going to be able to get 1 piece of ultra rare gear guaranteed. That spawn costs 30 gems. That should be the number 1 thing you want to save for. Okay? The item that you get, the ultra rare that you get, is not a guaranteed class item, but it's an ultra rare more or less. So whether it's a piece of gear, a weapon, or a monster, it's going to help you either way. So definitely the first thing you should be doing is you should be saving for that 30 gem ultra rare spawn. After that, you want to save your gems. Don't refill your AP, because you're going to level up very, very quickly, at least at the beginner level, because you get 1.5% or one and a half times the amount of experience that you would get as a other player. Like me, for instance, you get that up until level 90. So you're going to be leveling up fairly quickly if you're active and you're playing for multiple hours on end. I think after my first day of playing Unison League, I was like level 25 or 30. I played like 4 or 5 hours my first day, and I got pretty high my first day. Also, I don't know, when I started, there was a special deal going on. It was $1.99, and it gave you gems, and it also gave you an SSR weapon. You were able to pick what class you were, and you got a weapon corresponding to whatever class you picked. I recommend, $1.99 is nothing, guys. I recommend that you do that, because you only have, I believe, 14 days to take advantage of that before it goes away from the day you start playing. So I definitely recommend that you guys do that. It's $1.99 if you guys are younger and you don't work, or ask your parents. Say, Mom, Dad, I need a $15 card. Can you please give it to me? Or I'm sure you guys get an allowance. Use your allowance and go buy a $15 Google Play card and pick yourself up that $1.99 package, because it is really, really good deal. for you to get that SSR weapon, gems, and I believe you also get some extra stuff like materials or whatnot. So definitely take advantage of that. After you do the 30 gem spawn to get the guaranteed ultra rare, you want to continuously save your gems. Don't spend your gems on AP, like I said. It's a waste of gems. Unless you're like me and you buy tons and tons of gems and you have an addiction, obviously, then you can take your gems and do whatever you want with them. But if you're free to play and every gem counts for you, you do not want to waste one gem on refilling your AP. Save every single gem, and when you have 30, you can go ahead and use it on another spawn. Now, I recommend, if you're free to play, I recommend you wait for SSR guaranteed spawn. It's going to say SSR guaranteed 1, and usually these are a little different. This spawn is like glitched out right now, so it's not really a good example, but you'll have spawns like this every so often, every maybe week or two, they'll pop up, and it'll be a guaranteed SSR for 30 gems, and it's times 10. And you have a pretty good chance of getting more than one SSR in these spawns. So definitely as a free-to-play, you want to save up 30 gems and do one pull on that. I would recommend as a free-to-play, you stay away from treasure spawns, you stay away from spawns like this. These are considered trap spawns. These aren't, well, the treasure spawn's not really a trap spawn, but spawn like this, I consider this a trap spawn because the gear that it offers here they're not boosted rates. So if this gear was boosted, the rates were boosted for this, then definitely would take advantage of that. Also, once in a while you will have a guaranteed monster spawn. There'll be 50 gems. It'll guarantee you an SSR monster. So if you do the ultra rare spawn in the beginning and you don't get a monster, and you happen to save up 50 gems and one of those monster spawns pop up, take advantage of that because you'll get your first SSR monster. That's, another good thing, take advantage of with your free-to-play gems. Also, there might be like a special deal going on, depending on A-Team and the mood they're in. They might release a deal for newer players that might be $4.99 and you get gems, a free monster, so on and so forth. I don't know if they do that. I don't know how often they do it, but you might get lucky and there might be one of those as well. But if you, like I said, if you're not spending any money, save, try to save 50 gems and hold off and wait for one of those monster spawns if you don't already have a monster. If you need armor or weapons, then save the 30 gems, wait for an SSR guaranteed spawn, and hit that one time, and you'll get the guaranteed SSR. Maybe you'll get lucky and get multiple SSRs in that one pull. Now, as a free-to-play player, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to see gear that other people have, the paid players. You're going to see their gear, and you're going to want it, and, there might be a spawn like the treasure spawn, for instance. You might see this gear here, and you might say, oh, wow, I want that gear so bad, I'm going to use my gems on that. Don't do it, because the chances of you getting a piece of the gear or a weapon is very, very low if you're only pulling one time. If you guys want to, you could, because the first time a treasure spawn pops up, the first pull is half off, so it costs 15 gems instead of 30. You could do the one pull for 15 gems. It's a pretty good value, but again, the SSR rates on the actual spawns aren't that great, and your chances of hitting the jackpot on the very first try are also very slim. So keep that in mind, but still, for the 15 gems, it's not really that bad. And when you're a free-to-play player and you're first starting out in campaign, you're pretty much going to breeze through the first 5 or 6 chapters. And I wouldn't recommend moving on to a new stage unless you clear it. See me, like, I really don't care. But I wouldn't recommend moving on to a new stage until you fully cleared the last stage and get the gem for it. This way, you won't have to backtrack and look for the gems that you already missed. Just, make sure you clear out the quest before you move on to the new one and get the gem. This way you don't have to worry about it. So, save your gems. Definitely, take advantage of the guaranteed SSR spawns. It's free to play. take advantage of the guaranteed. First thing, number one, is to do the beginner spawn, the one-time spawn to get you the guaranteed ultra rare. And then if you could, I recommend you do everything you can to take advantage of the $1.99 special. I believe it's either $1.99 or 99 cents. I don't know how much it is, but it guarantees you the SSR weapon, and it's going to really help you breeze through the campaign. Also, it's going to really help you to join a guild as well, because most guilds out there, you got to be minimum like level 40 or 50 to join a guild. A semi-active guild anyway. And that leads me into my next tip, is to make sure that you guys join a guild as soon as possible, because it's just going to help you in the long run. Try to meet players as you're doing quests. Add people. Say, hey, I'm new to the game. Do you want to quest with me in the future? Yeah, okay. Add them as a friend. The more friends you have, the better, because once you start getting to the tougher quests, the boss quests, you're going to start to need help. And it helps to have friends. Don't go it in alone. Try to have as many friends as possible to help you get through the quests a little easier, especially the harder ones. Now, when you're new and you're picking a class, okay? Picking a class can be tough. I've said in my other videos that I always went with mage. Any RPG that I've played in the past, I've always picked mages, because I just love magic abilities. I love casters. Just in general, I think they're awesome. So I just picked mage. It was like a very 1 second decision. I really didn't take the time to look over each and every class, but if I can go back and redo my class all over again, I would definitely go for archer. Now, to explain each class in detail, mage, archer, and lancers are like your main damage dealing classes. These are the classes where you're going to deal the most damage. You're going to, you have a very specific build that you should be following with these classes. Soldier and clerics are your tanky builds. You're not going to be doing a lot of damage, but you're also, in turn, you're going to be very tanky. You're going to be harder to kill. You're going to have higher HP, and you're going to be providing your team with buffs, and the enemy team with debuffs and stuff like that. So that's more so with soldier, but with cleric, your main objective is to heal your teammates and debuff. Take debuffs off your teammates, so on and so forth. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea. I try to recommend that everybody do at least a soldier to start, and then you can, if you main a soldier, you can always go to cleric and move on from there. It's going to be, put it this way, for damage-based classes, it's harder for you to get the better weapons to do the most damage. The best weapons in the game are premium weapons for mages and archers and stuff, so it's going to be harder for you as a free-to-play to get those better weapons. So if you want to take full advantage of your free-to-play account, I'd pick soldier, because you're going to have more gear equipped than weapons, so it's going to be easier for you to acquire more ultra rare gear than it's going to be those really premium XXL weapons, Fatal Testament weapons, and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. What else? So we talked about gem spawns. We talked about that. So also as a free-to-play, you got this tab here, get free gem fragments. Okay. If it ever loads. So you got a list here of different offers that you can take advantage of to get yourself some free gems. Now, you see 1 gem fragment there, 3 gem fragments. That's not 1 gem or 3 gems, that's 3 gem fragments. It takes 100 gem fragments to make 1 gem. So, for instance, if you download Game of War and upgrade your stronghold to level 5, you get 825 gem fragments. That in turn, that's going to turn into 8 gems for you. And then you're going to have 25 gem fragments left over. Same thing goes for this one. Upgrade to level 10 when you play Mobile Strike. 2,250 gems. So You get a level 10 stronghold, you get 22 gems. If you start a Hulu free trial, you get 672 gem fragments. You'll get 6 gems out of that. So these are really good to take advantage of, especially as free to play. If you have a debit card with money on it, you could sign up for the free trials. You won't get charged any money, and then you can just cancel it after the 25 days is or 28 days, right before the day where you would get charged, which is after 30 days. So it's easy to do. Take advantage of that. Get yourself some free gems in the process, and that'll just help you along in the game as well. So lastly, I want to talk about down here, you have some options. Number one is I'm going to make a video on cost allocation and what cost you should put in for what classes, because that is like the number one mistake people make within Unison League is they allocate costs into the wrong places. So I don't want to get into too much detail about that. I'll make a separate video on it, but definitely look online, look on Reddit, look on the A-Team forums, find out where you should be putting your cost, because if you down the road, like I made that mistake too, I had to actually spend 80 gems to reallocate costs and get my build under control because I had more gear than weapons. And as a mage, that's a no-no. So definitely look online on the A-Team forums and try to, see exactly, for whatever class you are, try to see exactly how much cost you should be putting in each slot as you progress and level up. Because you definitely don't want to get caught in a position where you're going to have to reallocate costs, because as a free-to-play player, that just spells disaster. You're going to have to either spend your free-to-play gems on Scrolls of Insights, and that's going to take away from your spawn chances, or you're going to have to just suck it up and spend a little money to get the gems and buy the scrolls. So either way is not good for a free-to-play. Next, name change. Guys, pick a name that you're going to be comfortable with throughout the game. As a free-to-play player, you don't want to spend pointless, you don't want to spend gems into changing your name. It's just pointless. It's self-explanatory. Pick a name that you're going to be comfortable with. Down the road, when you get into the end game and you join a guild, a lot of guilds like to put their abbreviations in front of their names to kind of represent their guild. It's kind of like a trend going on in Unison League. If you want to do that down the road and you have some extra gems to spend, by all means do it. But in the beginning, pick a name that you're going to be comfortable with, and this way you won't have to change. Feel obligated to change your name and spend those gems. Quest keys. Don't buy the super augment quest keys. They cost 1 gem each, and it's ridiculous. It's a waste of gems, plain and simple. Throughout the game, through certain events, you'll get free super augment quest keys. Also, every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, super augment quests pop up, and you can actually run those quests without using keys. They also run from 8 p.m. to 8:19 p.m. Saturday and Sunday Eastern Time. You don't have to spend keys to do that, but keep in mind they are 30 AP per run, so if you're free to play, you're probably not going to be refilling your AP to do multiple runs, so keep that in mind as well. A good thing to spend extra gems on, not in the beginning. It's going to be annoying for you in the beginning because your inventory is extremely small. So your inventory is going to be filling up a lot, and you're going to find yourself emptying out your inventory every 5 or 10 runs through quests. When you get later down the road into the game, level 90, level 100, and you've done your fair share of gem spawns, and you've gotten a good amount of gear, and you have some extra gems to spend them in upgrading either your gear locker or your inventory to expand it, because it just makes it more convenient. It's more of like a quality of life thing. It's not really required, but it just makes your life a lot easier. You can hold more stuff. You don't have to worry about emptying out your inventory every 20 minutes. So this video is now almost 20 minutes long. I I just got into the topic and I just kept going. But I really wanted to make an informative video for you guys. I know most of you guys watching are probably mid to late gamers, but it always helps to get this kind of information and pass it on to your friends if they're interested in starting up a Unison League account. Or like I said, just know if anybody ever asks you and they're a new player and you want to give them information, you would have already watched this video, and it'll just really help those people out in the long run. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.